Yo, what's good, YouTube? What's good? It's Stormy B, man, and I am back. Yes, indeed, I am back with another edition of Dine and Dish. That's right, Dine and Dish, where we talk good food over good conversation, and it's all about good company. This is a social show here, centered around food. That's what we do here on the Stormy B Man channel. Try to keep it open where everybody can participate. And I appreciate anybody and everybody that's out there today that's decided to join us. Today, the show is featuring the title Oodles of Noodles. And when we talk about noodles, not just them little packs of noodles that y'all be shoveling into your kids' mouths because you don't want to sit down and make them a real dinner, and you sitting there and boiling that water or putting it in the microwave or whatever and giving them noodles and sprinkle that little seasoning over it and say, here's your dinner. Don't you do that. But that's a part of the noodle family. But you know, noodles, we're talking about, hey, spaghetti, pasta, Asian noodles. But I'm gonna tell you something. Noodles have been a part of culture, man. Mostly all cultures. You know, all of us at some point have taken in noodles, man. It's a major part of our culture, you know. When you don't want rice, when you don't want potatoes, the noodle is a nice carb that can replace those carbs, but also it's something that can be prepared different ways and different toppings. So we could talk a little bit about that today on Dine and Dish. You know, we could talk about that a little bit today. So as we open the conversation on talking about the noodles, I would like for you all to write in the chat as well the type of pasta you like, the type of noodles. I'm gonna tell you something. Asian noodles are very good as well. Various Italian pastas with noodles are good. The Latin community has their take. Pretty much everybody. Greek, you know. So we could talk about that this afternoon. And I'll tell you something. Sometimes you can make a meal centered around a great noodle, a great pasta. So welcome to the show as we begin to talk about Udles of Noodles. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. So don't forget to hit the like button while you're out there. I see we got people coming in. We got the Underrated Darkness out there. He says, good afternoon, my brother, in chat. And he shared the live. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. We'll talk about some noodles today. You know what I mean? The Dine and Dish show is always centered around talking about food and how it impacts our homes, our households, our community, our culture, you know, because when you talk about preparing something for the palate, you know, many of us have different experiences. And that's what I like to present here and talk about. So it is what it is when we're talking about the noodle. Now, I know my man, the Underrated Darkness, is out there, and he talks about food as well. So Stormy ain't original with this. There's always other people out there doing their own thing, and I salute Underrated Darkness because he crosses many a paths out here in the community. And I've seen a couple of the brothers' shows where he's featured talking about meals and whatnot. And, you know, here at the Dine and Dish, the various shows that I come up with ideas is pretty much about, you know, presenting the subject and having conversation over it. Sometimes here in the YouTube community, you know, we've got the LDBC, salute to the LDBC. We've got various channels and channel operators and content creators who bring a variety of information to the community for us to get online and talk and share and be a part of something. This show was created to continue that, as well as when someone, you know, a lot of people are saying now they don't even watch regular TV anymore. They kind of watch a lot of YouTube material and content, and it helps to get them through their week. So this show is one of those shows where we're not necessarily talking about boxing. We're talking about good food. I even did a show here on Dine and Dish where we talked about food that we prepare for when we're going to have a night of boxing. That was a recent show. And it was it was received very well because that's something that we could all relate to. You know what I mean? So working our way around to these noodles, man, I'm going to tell you something. Stormy B, man, love him some pasta. Do you understand? And I'm talking about linguine. I'm talking about penne. I'm talking about spaghetti. I'm talking about angel hair. Talking about, you know, garlic udon noodles. Man, let me tell you, it's like I'm there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what it is about that. I like those egg noodles, man. I love, you know, when you the beef with noodles and oyster sauce and all of that. Man, that's good eating right there. I'm telling you. But that's what it is about. You know, we talk about this and we come out and we share what our experiences are regarding that. And it's something that to enjoy. You know what I mean? Something to totally enjoy. So, as we, get ready to get into this conversation, one of the ones that I would just like to straight up start off the bat would be spaghetti. Hey, man, who don't like spaghetti, man? When you don't like spaghetti, okay, maybe it's because the sauce that was prepared with it wasn't right, wasn't palatable for your taste or whatever. But I remember growing up, and my mom, when she would make her homemade spaghetti, she had, her bit of ground chuck that she would prepare for the meat and the sauce, and the onion and green pepper and red pepper and the various Italian seasonings and everything that was a part of the process, some ground black pepper. It's like, man, it was awesome, So when I moved out on my own, I was like, I can't keep hitting mom up for her spaghetti, right? So I said, I got to learn how to make it myself. So I did. I started practicing, man. And I'll tell you something, after only maybe a couple of times of making it myself, I actually superseded mom's recipe and everything. And I'll tell you, it's not a lie. It's like I phoned her up one day and I was like, hey, I made some spaghetti and it was really nice and it reminded me of yours. That's what I said, it reminded me of yours. She was like, well, you didn't bring me none, so it couldn't have been that good. Okay. I know what that meant, So I had to take her some. I had to take her a taste of that spaghetti. Man, she got mad at me, bro. She was like, you didn't make this. You had some woman make this for you. I was like laughing. I said, no. Mother, I made that spaghetti. And she was like, boy, this spaghetti is better than mine. She was like, what'd you do? And this and that. I said, well, I've been practicing. I know what I like. I know what I don't like as far as seasonings and stuff like that. So my sauces, how I prepared it, and, fresh stewed tomatoes and things like that. She was like, you're on your way. She said, you're on your way. You're doing it. So once I had mom's approval on the spaghetti, because she had some fire spaghetti, man, I'm telling you. And I'm like, that was awesome to get the thumbs up from mom's, right? So I started, and then I started being more versatile in how I would prepare my spaghetti because I didn't want to get burned out or tired of one way. So I started doing some other things. I implemented some cream sauces and butter and olive oil and different things, doing different things like that, chilies. And it became something where I would definitely enjoy the food in different manners. So it never got boring, And then, of course, when you start doing something and you put it in a casserole dish and you may add some cheese topping or whatever like that and put it in the oven and bake it like that. And then, boom, you've got a whole different take on something, man. Parmesan, man, you know what I mean? So I really, really enjoyed that. And it became a part of how I prepare meals now. And to be so versatile in how you have it, it's like it's never boring, So that's one of my favorites that I came out with. And I'll tell you, man, it's just fun. And when you're working with pastas and noodles and, macaroni, penne, linguine, all of that, and you can find various ways to prepare it where you can always, everything doesn't have to taste alike. You know what I mean? Because, when people go out to an Italian restaurant and there's a choice and selection of things, I have to tell you, if it's a place you're going to for the first time, try their spaghetti, whether you like meat sauce or just marinara sauce, but try it. And the reason I say is because if that's not very good for you, it's an indication of where they go, because a great Italian restaurant, they should not do spaghetti wrong. You know what I mean? And that's just like going to a diner. If you go to a diner, which is not a diner is a diner, okay? When you decide you're going to order something there for the first time, order something very simple like a burger or a cheeseburger. If they make a very good cheeseburger, you're in the right place, because pretty much everything on that menu can be pretty decent. If the cheeseburger sucks, let me tell you something. For a common meal, a common item on the menu, they should be able to do it to the T. They should be able to knock it out the park, because that's the simplest thing a person can order on the menu. So they want you to come back. They want you to enjoy that experience or whatever. So they should take pride in what they're serving you. That's a key to most restaurants. But that's what you need to be looking out for when you go out like that. You know what I mean? So as we talk about the pastas and the noodles of the world, that's something to consider as well. And an Italian restaurant, if you're going in for the pasta, you might, again, like I said, you might not want spaghetti, but you may want to try one of the other pastas. That's what you do, because if they are, if that's, that can be a defining factor in part of their presentation. So just remember that, especially going out to a place for the first time. The Jab Jamboree has joined us. He says, wait, you talk food too? Man, Act Reacher, man, what's wrong with you, bro? Man, I've been doing Dine and Dish for over a year, man. I created this show last year. I just don't do it often. I do it every so often just to talk about food, bring the community together and talk about some good stuff, you know. He say, wait, you talk food too? You're damn right, man. Big brother like me don't, get around without being able to talk about some food. And if you notice, in my early shows, I used to always have food association as I'm talking boxing and stuff. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do a show talking about food. That way I don't have to talk about food while I'm talking on my other subjects, whether it's kung fu movies, which I do that, as well as boxing. So, yeah, Jab Jamboree, salute to you, bro. I Dine and Dish. Go check the archives out. There's some good shows out there, man. And great conversation, because people in the chat, they like food too. I know you like food, I know you have to try to keep yourself in shape and everything, bro. But hey, man, can't get past talking about this good food, man. Can't get past it. So it is what it is, But, yeah, man. I will talk some food, brother. But I'll tell you something. Just like in this GIF up here that I put for a backdrop, this is some penne that's being made with garlic and cream and seasonings. And man, the way they prepare this, it's like stage by stage, That, I bet that tastes awesome, man. I bet that tastes awesome. That's the thing about being able to prepare your pastas. You could do it like, this is penne, but it's like you could take linguine, and I happen to really love udon noodles. Man, udon noodles are the most awesome, And if you haven't had a chance to really, get into udon noodles, try them sometimes. Just, as a substitute for, like, if you're going to use a linguine or something, try yourself some udon. because they're hearty and you don't have to eat as many of them. And a lot of times they're paired with Asian dishes, you know, whether you have a sliced beef that's boiled and, you know, bok choy and, you know, green onions, scallions, you know, in a nice broth, whether it's a beef broth or a chicken broth, prepared in that manner, and then you have it with your udon. Oh man, and some seasoning. That is awesome, bro. That is awesome. That's one of those things that when you prepare that, dude, you can have a meal off of that and you will sleep well or whatever, because the combination of your meat, and if you don't want the sliced beef, you can have chicken cut up in there, or even fish, okay? A white fish. Let me tell you something, man. That's a hell of a meal. And for people who are like diabetics or something like that, you can eat that and it's not gonna run your numbers or anything like that. It's awesome. IGM Tim says, salute to you, Stormy. Got me feeling like I'm starving over here. Yeah, man, that's what this show is for. IGM Tim. Talking this, man, that's the most positive impact of this show right here. When we could talk food and it builds your appetite and make you want to go and do something, that's what it's all about. That's what I love to hear, because talking food as a community, you know, we share our ideas and thoughts and what we've had, this and that. Dude, that's what it's all about. Some people have come in, they thought maybe this show Stormy's live, he's talking boxing or whatever. But if you've been on the Stormy B-Man channel for a while, you understand that there's 2 other shows that I could produce with no problem. And this is one of them, Dine and Dish, where we could just talk about food, man, and how you prepare it, how you like it. You know, the subjects are usually on restaurants, meals you prepare yourself, things, experience that you've had with certain foods. That's what it's all about. And I appreciate those who hang around for the conversation. You know what I mean? Because it's a part of our lives. You know, eating is a part of our lives. So it was just some other way that I thought to be creative and come out here and share with everybody, and hope that everybody that comes out wants to participate, because that's important. You know what I mean? We can stay connected. We don't have to talk the same subject all the time, but there are various things that happen throughout our lives. And one of the things that we have to do daily is prepare a meal. So that's what it's all about, man. So, yeah, I just really enjoy being able to be on here and give you guys something more than just a repetitive natured subject matter. So that's what it is, man. That's what it is. You know, I just haven't done a Dine and Dish in a while. It's probably been about a month or 2 that I've done one. I think the last one I did was desserts. And Abil Maharvi was always asking me, do a dessert show, Stormy. Do a dessert. He's like, I want you to do a dessert show. And I finally did. And I sent people word to get Abil out there the message that I'm doing the dessert show, because he's been asking me for a long time. So he was able to enjoy that, where I did the dessert show. So, and we talked about various ice creams and cakes and pies and stuff like that, man. So yeah, IGM Tim, this is what it's about, man. And you're supposed to be hungry after this. You know what I mean? Get yourself over there in your kitchen and start doing something. You know? That's what it is, man. You know, and don't forget to hit that like button, because when you come back the next time, I'll have something else for you. I have a few more shows in mind right off the top of my head. And I don't mind. I don't mind talking. And it keeps me from talking food too much during my other shows, like boxing or something like that. So, yes, sir. You know. But, yeah. You know, one of these things that we see with the noodles and the palates is like linguine and, garlic and Italian seasoning and black pepper. Just the blend of that alone, you will find that it is so, and don't forget butter and or olive oil over your noodles. Okay? Let me tell you something. It's awesome. Some minced onion or shaved onion, where it's shaved lightly and you could just sprinkle it and then you toss it and mix it. And let me tell you something, man. That is awesome. That is awesome. I mean, it's very tantalizing to the palate, man. You will find if you do that, you'll be very happy. And you will find also that you didn't realize so much that you could do with the noodles. Okay? And again, that makes for an interesting, dining experience, because you can take it and you can apply something new to something that was run of the mill and find that, oh shoot, this is what I'm talking about here. You know what I mean? A little over a week ago, I broiled some steaks, and I wanted a carb to go with it. I had spinach as a side. I made some fresh spinach and creamed it, with seasoning. And I said I would make some udon noodles with it, right? And so what I did was I prepared the udon noodles. I boiled them and everything. And then I took them out of the water. I took some fresh virgin olive oil and just, a little layer of that virgin olive oil over it. I took some Italian seasoning, some garlic, some minced garlic, mixed that in with some ground black pepper, man, and mixed it, tossed that very well. Dude, that was so awesome with that steak. And I'm like, shoot, you can't get this at the restaurant because they won't serve that like that. They'll have something that might be similar. They may have potato, they may have some spaghetti or whatever, but not like I prepared it at home. Man, that was one of my best homemade meals, of the past couple of months. It was like just doing it, on that level, just like thinking about what I wanted, So now imagine, I see in the chat there, Seen and Unseen Boxing, salute to you, says, I make a spicy sausage penne that's crazy. I bet it is. See, that's what I'm talking about. When you start exploring and you step outside of the box of what like the restaurant will offer you this and offer you that. But with this show and like how we talk about the foods that we love and everything and how diversified you can become once you know spices, once you know ingredients and things like that, you can take it to a place where the restaurants haven't even dared to go. You understand? And you could be making something like Seen and Unseen Boxing says his spicy sausage penne is like, you probably can't get that at the restaurant. And it's probably like to die for. So if he makes it at home or whatever, or take a pan of it somewhere, you're having a get together and it's like people are like, ooh, who made this? It's like, there you go. Talking about, man. It is awesome when you can do that. Underrated Darkness says, yes. And IGM Tim says, another great thing about this is this changes date night. Women enjoy being surprised by a cooking man. Dude, that's the cheapest date you can have. That's the cheapest date you could have when you've cooked for your woman and she comes in and it's all set, ready to go or whatever, especially if it's something that you can do very well. Man, you in there, bro. You in there. She gonna be wondering why you ain't asked her to marry you and stuff. It's like, this is what it is. You know what I mean? Great stuff, man. great stuff. You know what I mean? So that's what it's all about. Supreme Beast Boxing Talk says, salute OG Stormy B, man. Salute to you, Supreme Beast. Welcome to the show. If you didn't know, Supreme Beast, this is my show, Dine and Dish. I only do them every so often, but it's centered around food. You can go back in my archives and check other episodes where they have, different subjects surrounding food. But we're talking good food and food preparation centered around this show's title, Udles of Noodles. And the Udles of Noodles, notice I spelled it with the U. That's actually a play on udon noodles, not oodles of noodles like come in a pack. Not that. It's the play on the words, because when we're talking about the noodle, there are so many ways to prepare and what you can do with noodles as you get your food and dining experience together at home. Seen and Unseen Boxing says, that's a fact. Yeah, talking about preparing a meal for a woman and, she don't know it. Cheap date, because you've done the work at home. And you just bring her over or invite her over and say, hey, I thought we would dine in tonight. And she'd be like, what you going to do, put on a pizza or something? And then here you go. Boom. You drop that meal on her, bro. Yeah, and she going to drop something else. You better believe it. You better believe it, man. That's what she gonna do. She gonna drop something else of the clothing variety. Yeah. Oh man. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something, man. When you kind of know your way around the kitchen, don't it feel empowering? Especially if you could be better than your woman at it, because it's like, she can't hold that over your head. It's like some women be like, well, I ain't going to cook for him then. And you be like, man, I'm hungry. Baby, fix me something. When you know your way around their kitchen, bro, they get mad. They be sitting there looking at you like this. That's what it's all about, man. You can make your own meals, man. They be looking like, man. And I can't let him go because some other chick gonna enjoy this. That's how they think, man. Yeah, that's how they think. And ain't nothing wrong with you putting that pressure, huh? Nothing wrong. See? And another noodle to think about is the Asian noodle. The way their take on things. And the various sauces that they use. They use oyster sauces. They use beef sauces. They have a lemon with some type of garlic. And man, it's so diverse. That's why when you learn what you're doing, it can go a different place. It's like, man, you could take your meals to a different height, man. It's awesome, Supreme Beast Boxing Talk says, not the packed noodles. I was going to make a swole like we in jail. No, we ain't talking about them damn packed noodles. Hell no. Seen and Unseen Boxing says, turning their nose up in this. Yeah. Yeah, man. They don't look at you like that because it's empowering. Like I said, when a man knows his way around the kitchen, let me tell you something. And I learned this very early in life. I was a little boy. My mother was very good at this. She was a great nurturing woman, man. She taught me how to clean, sew, and take care of myself. It's like, do these things. Sewing your own clothes, like you get a rip or something, you got to sew it up or whatever. Dude, I can do all of that stuff. So it's like, what the woman got to bring? Now, she said, well, I can't do this, I can't do that. I was like, but what can you do besides pop that thing? You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, what can you do? Huh? Cooking, everybody should know how to cook. You got to eat, right? So when you got a woman that don't have no cooking skills at all, what's she been doing during the time she been growing up? Now, I didn't marry a woman based on the contingency if she could cook or not. But I'm just saying, you got to be able to do something. It's empowering, bro. That's independence. That's serious independence. The legion of the future going forward, being a person of ownership, being able to take care of yourself. You know, I have a daughter. I could cook for my daughter. I could do things. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that is not the kind of thing that a man should be. Now, I remember braiding my daughter's hair and stuff when she was very small. It's like, okay, that looked a little, you know, you could tell daddy did it, you know. Let's just say that, okay? But as far as being able to prepare her a meal, daddy, can I have another plate? No. That's me right there. Being able to do that kind of thing. So it's like, you think about it, being judicious. It's like, what would you rather be able to do? Be a master of the street, or be a master of being able to handle what's required domestically? Because as far as I'm concerned, in the street, what's in the street for me is my employment. But domestically, I got to be able to handle this, be able to take care of home. And the kitchen is part of the home, You ever been in a home that ain't had no kitchen? You get the hell out of there pretty quick, don't you, Because you're going to get hungry at the end of the day. Think about it. Seen and Unseen Boxing says, facts. Yes, sir, man. This is what it's about, you know? And when you're talking about eating, and some of you brothers know, you got a huge appetite out there, So you can't be messing around. You got to be able to, you know, get something going for yourself. And there's a lot of pride in that, being able to take care of yourself with being able to cook. You know what I mean? You got to be able to cook, man. You got to be able to take care of yourself. You got a wife. Maybe she was a great cook or whatever. Okay, you divorce. Now you by yourself. Or, unfortunately, if she happened to pass on or whatever, you become a widower. You know, it's like, what are you going to do? You got to feed yourself. And I'll tell you something like this. If you're very good at it and you're a single man, don't go out there, brothers, and cooking for every woman. Don't do that. I mean, I'm just giving you free game on that. Don't do that. If she's special to you, if it's somebody you're going to consider being with for a minute, I ain't talking about suggesting you got to marry her. But if you're going to be, then you might present and say, hey, I got this one thing I could do, this one dish, you know, and I wanted to share it, you know. Don't let her know you can burn. You got greens, cornbread, and ham hocks. Don't let her know all of that. Because she'll try to marry you and won't want to do nothing. See? Because today we're living on a twisted society. We're living in a society where the women think the men supposed to do everything. And then they supposed to just be able to, you know, give you some. Yeah. Really? I can get me some from an escort. And still keep all my money in my pocket and my pantry full and rent paid and everything. Car note paid. Yeah. Escort. Money well spent, because guess what? That's what they do. They professionals. You out here with one of them chicken neck bras and she don't even know how to pleasure you correctly. But she think you're supposed to take real good care of her. All right. IGM Tim says, true OG convo Stormy. Yes, sir. Zeno says, big up Stormy. Flame with 100. Thank you. And Seen and Unseen says, check my Instagram, OG. I be chefing it up. And I'm grilling. Okay. But I'm not on Instagram, Seen and Unseen. I apologize for that, but I'm not on Instagram. right now, this is the only social media I'm doing on my YouTube channel. I used to have my Facebook, but Stormy don't even fool with Facebook no more. So, but yeah, man, Zeno is laughing. That's right, man. You have to keep everything in its proper perspective, man. That's what's important. Keep it in its proper perspective. A lot of people don't realize that. But I'm gonna tell you, you could take you some ginger. You could have you some what do they call that? Cilantro and everything. You sprinkle that over those noodles that's boiling in a pot, man. And there are so many things you can do, man. So many things you could do with noodles. And it's great because noodles burn off. They don't sit with you. You know, like when you eat other carbs, like potatoes or rice, they'll sit with you for hours. And sometimes if you're like a diabetic or something, they'll make you sleepy and everything drowsy. You be like, oh man. But noodles burn off kind of fast. I think that's why Asian people like them, because your metabolism burns. It's like you eat some noodles and you be good, but you have to eat something else in a couple of hours, and that's fine. But to be able to prepare them in the multiple ways that we're talking about, that's what's really cool as well. That's what's really cool, man. And I enjoy that. I enjoy being able to put myself in that position to be diversified with my my news. I remember a couple weeks ago, I made some spaghetti pasta, and I took some diced chilies, okay? Put a little olive oil on that spaghetti pasta, and took the diced chilies and mixed that in, ground black pepper, just a hint of garlic. Man, that was good. It was very good. Okay? And olive oil always helps. Remember this, brothers and sisters out there. When you use olive oil and you use it well, it's very good for the body because it helps your digestive system. It coats, and everything can come out smoothly. I'm not trying to be gross or anything like that, but there's a reason why olive oil is an essential. Okay? And if you're using it properly with your dining experience, it has very, very positive ramifications. So just keep that in mind, using pastas, So yeah, it's one of the things I wanted to share about that. But I love being able to go back and share experiences with you guys. You know what I mean? Because it's important for people who don't know. Do you know there are some people, they may have grown up and a lot of time may not have been taken on that kitchen aspect of things for the men. I didn't grow up with kitchen aspects. Everything that I've learned to do with my cooking skills and everything pretty much came after I went out on my own, living on my own. But I'm a foodie. I go to restaurants, fine restaurants. I go to new restaurants that I read in the dining section of the newspaper or something, and just to try different places out. And I've learned through the experience of observation and what I take in, I've learned that, hey, I can make this at home. So that becomes a huge part of what I do. Going home, bringing something home, an idea home, and that's where I've been able to grow with that. So that's something to be proud of, because it's like, man, I ain't waiting on nobody. You know what I mean? I ain't waiting on nobody. So seen and unseen is giving that look right there. What's that for? Seen and unseen? But that emoji there, what are you saying that to? Is there something that was said particular or whatever? So yeah, man. but spaghetti is one of my number ones. I like it with a meat sauce over a marinara. I do like green pepper, red pepper, and onion as a part of my sauce base. There are times when I could have it with or without stewed tomatoes. Stewed tomatoes provide that sweetness, you know, especially if you're heavy on garlic. So if you're heavy on garlic, it's nice to have a little sweetness as a balance to that. And stewed tomatoes and sauce on its own, it's like it could be acidic. So be mindful of that as well. That's where that olive oil comes in as well too. So remember that. Seen and Unseen says olive oil. Okay, that's why you were saying, yeah, olive oil is very important. It's an essential. You didn't know the benefits. Hey, man, that's why, again, when we have these kind of conversations, you may get something out of it that you weren't aware. And it's like there are benefits to certain things. If you notice, you don't hear a lot of Italians having like diabetes and stuff like that, right? But their diet is rich in carbs and stuff like that. So it's like it's the other things that they're using, the garlic, the mint, the cilantro, the olive oil, Parmesan itself. It's like a lot of things that go with what they're doing, and those Italian seasonings. Okay, there are certain elements of the Italian seasoning. If you went down and broke down the chart of what's in Italian seasoning, various herbs there have beneficial qualities to you health wise. So there's a counterbalance to the meals that they prepare. Various sauces, which they call gravies, can have benefits. But understand that the pasta is a carb. Whether it's penne, whether it's linguine, whether it's angel hair, whether it's spaghetti, rigatoni, all of that. It has different weights to it and everything. But if you're using the proper amount of oils and sauces and seasonings, it balances out. It really does. And spinach. Spinach is a huge part of the Italian base of meals because they can use it in different ways within their different meals that they prepare. So it's just something to know, You could take you take you a good bushel of fresh leaf spinach and put it in a pan, a saute pan. You could either use olive oil or butter. I would suggest olive oil. You could put seasoning in there, sprinkle a little Parmesan on there and mix that up, man, with the seasoning and everything. That spinach will be awesome, especially based off that olive oil that you've added to it. So let that just be something that to be shared with you, that you can take with you, because it's great dining. It's great dining. So just something to share. Just something to share with you there. So, yes, sir. We have a number of thumbs up, which is I appreciate. We've got a few people in there watching watching from the chat side. There may be people watching that have not come in the channel. There's some people, they be peeking through the blinds, like I've always said. But Stormy's channel is open, man. We come in here and talk this food with us, man. This is good conversation. You know what I mean? So don't be shy. Huh? Come on in. So, but yeah, man. And I like food, I'm a big dude. You know what I mean? I like food and ain't shamed. It's like, what I'm gonna be shamed for? I like to eat, man. It don't make me lazy where I don't do nothing else or nothing like that. But I like food, man. Shoot, get on here and talk about this good old stuff here, man. These noodles and pastas. You know, if somebody put a plate of it in front of you, you wouldn't turn it down. Huh? So why try to act like Stormy is only him? It's you too. Shoot. IGM Tim says, I eat my spinach like that 4 times a week. I'll try the cheese though. Yeah, to sprinkle the Parmesan, you know, just a little bit. IGM Tim, spinach is great, man. Spinach is great. I love spinach. And I'll tell you another little secret. Green beans. Green beans. Put them in that olive oil and eat them the very same way. IGM Tim, green beans. You can take that to the bank. Take it to the bank, bro. I'm guaranteeing you. So yeah, man. It is what it is when it comes down to these food chains, man. You have to be able to know how to prepare it. So you don't have to eat the same old thing all the time. Being able to switch it up. Yep. And I'll tell you something, IGM Tim, if you have that broth growing, drop your little broccoli in there. That's another secret. Drop a little broccoli in there, like a handful. Drop it in that broth with those noodles and the scallions and the chicken or beef or whatever, and those udons. Man, that's some good eating right there. Or the tiny shrimp, sprinkle them in there. Not too many. Just enough to, you know, be the meat of what you're doing. So, but hey, it's no secret. But these are things that are available to you. You just have to know that when you make these meals, variety is the spice of life. That's an old saying. Variety is the spice of life. People can always enjoy. You thought you knew. Let's just put it like this for real talk, right? You thought you knew noodles. But until you start preparing them in a different manner of like the suggestions that I've put out there in this show, then you'll realize you didn't know what you thought you know. Because guess what? You're going to create a meal with noodles based on something that you thought of. And who knows? I wouldn't know what you would think of, right? So it's like that's a place you could go in your own mind and own world that can be even more creative with what to do with noodles. Huh? Think about it. You know them macaroni noodles? You could put them in a pot just like you could the udon, okay? And the sliced beef or the sliced chicken or the shrimp or whatever, and put those scallions in there, okay? In a beef or chicken broth, okay? With seasoning, ground black pepper, okay? Because that broth will have a little bit of salt content in it itself. Make sure you put you some onion in there. Make sure you put you some minced garlic in there, or even fresh garlic in there, okay? Drop you some cilantro or spinach, huh? Think about it. Dude, you would be like, you know what? I hadn't even thought, this is great. I'm just making suggestions. Basil, yeah. You know, there's something that you could do, man. Seen and Unseen says, what about them Brussels sprouts? Throw a little garlic, some butter, and a little bacon drippings and season them up, man. Yeah, if that's what you like, bro. If that's what you like, do it. You know what I mean? Your palate is your palate. So it's like there may be some combinations that you could put together along with your noodles, and you'll be like, Holy crap, I never even thought about this before. And you be well within your place to do that. IGM Tim has got some other emotions up there. He's like, what is that? You're speaking to my brain, making me think. Thumbs up. Is that correct, IGM Tim? I'm trying to read the emojis. Like, you're speaking to my brain, making me think. Thumbs up. Let me know if that's correct. It Seen and Unseen says, and I hated him as a kid. Yeah, man. Many of us hated him as a kid, you know. But just know, and when I talk about noodles, remember, I ain't talking about the Merchan noodles or those heat and you just add hot water. I'm talking about noodles like the spaghetti, the penne, the elbow macaroni, linguine, udon, you know, various noodles that you have to put in that pot and boil and everything. You know, just know that all of that is for you and how you want to prepare it, how you want to enjoy it. But it's a great and beautiful thing, man. I am just thankful that I've been able to try different things and discover, wow, there are some great benefits here. There are some great things going on. IGM Tim said, yes, sir. Hey, thanks, man. I'll be trying to send messages with emojis, too. That's why I was trying to read it and understand what you were trying to say without typing out all the words. So thanks for that. I broke it down correctly. So appreciate it. Yeah. How you guys like my heated fireplace in the background here? This is a new touch since the last dining dish that I used this backdrop, because the original backdrop had a fireplace back there where it was like the fire wasn't live. It was just a frozen flame, you know. So I found a way to make it animated. Isn't that cool? Stormy B Man coming up with these little things. If you notice, in the last month or so on some of my shows, I've done some little tricks, special effects that I put out there. And ain't nobody said nothing about it. It's a couple brothers behind the scenes that know because I shared something with them. But you guys going to learn that Stormy B Man is out here always being creative, man. Always trying to do something to keep the shows uplifted, you know, using graphics and stuff like that, because that's what I do, man. But I got my own little fireplace back there, and the heat and the flame is going. You like that? You like it? Yes, sir. But hey, man, this was a very, very good conversation on Udles of Noodles. And I have come to the end of the show here. I want to thank everybody that came out, man, and showed support by hitting the like button and entertaining through the chat, man. I wish I could have had some more people come in, but I understand that people like what they like and people don't like what they don't like, and I'm just somewhere in the middle. So it's like, I appreciate everybody came out, man, and hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend. And, you know, enjoy yourselves. And I'll be back with another dining dish on the horizon. And we'll talk about another fantastic aspect of the dining experience, you know. So that's all I got for you guys this afternoon. Thanks again. I want to say peace out. And you know what? Take care of yourselves. Stay safe, you know. Take care of your families, people. All right. Peace.